Planet Vero Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
From Studio A in sunny Florida, welcome to Beauty and the Beach Radio, where it's all about who's beautifying Vero Beach. Today's show is brought to you by Dale Sorensen Real Estate. And here's your host and glamour girl, makeup artist, Cindy Getz.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty and the Beach Radio. I'm Cindy Getz, your host, where it's all about who's beautifying Vero Beach. And, you know, we do something every year in this community that I think is so beautiful. And I've had the privilege of being able to go and be a part of it. And it is so special. So we're going to talk about it again this year. It's May. Okay, and what happens every May, as a matter of fact, what happens the last Monday of every May is something called Memorial Day. So Memorial Day is a federal holiday, you guys, in the United States for honoring and mourning, okay, the U.S. military personnel who have died while serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. We have a lovely ceremony right here in Vero Beach. It's the Memorial Day ceremony located at the Veterans Memorial Island Sanctuary, again, here in Vero Beach. If you've never been, it is adjacent to Vero's Riverside Park on the Barrier Island, just south of Barber Bridge. Okay, we've got a lot of people that have moved to town. We want to make sure you know where it is and what it's all about. A lot of you moved in when it was COVID, and this is a real jewel that you should be a part of. Memorial Island Sanctuary, for those of you who don't know the history, after World War II, the Intercoastal Waterway was slated for dredging, and Mr. Alex McWilliams Sr., a veteran and member of the Florida legislature, persuaded the federal government to realign the existing Vero Beach Channel to make way for a modern drawbridge. I do remember that drawbridge, and to create a memorial island with the surplus dredging material. How cool is that? In 2004, you guys, fast forward, the name was changed, to Veterans Memorial Island Sanctuary. Veterans Memorial Island Sanctuary is now a quiet haven, for reflection on the sacrifices made by the men and women in the armed forces of our country. It contains memorials to the men and women of Indian River County who died in combat while defending our country. It's been said that this is one of the most beautiful veteran sanctuaries in the country. You have to visit. The Veterans Council is proud to present every year the Memorial Day observance. We have two guests today, two of my favorite people, not guests, favorite people. They're compassionate. They're very involved in our community, and they are at this Memorial Day ceremony every year. They play a big part. Both are members of the Memorial Island Sanctuary Committee. I'll do ladies first, even though she's not been on as long as my gentleman, but ladies first. Very thrilled to have back. She is wife. She is founder and president of the American Gold Star Mothers of Indian River County and past president of American Gold Star Families Mothers of Florida. She is also mother to her beloved son, U.S. Army Corporal Dale J. Cridlow.
Perfect.
Thank you. Please welcome back to our show, Michelle Dale.
Hi there. Happy to be here.
Hi. So glad to have you back, Michelle. And we have with us also, and he's been on the show many, many, many times. He is husband. He is business owner to John Michael Matthews Fine Jewelry on Beachland Boulevard. sergeant in the U.S. Marine Corps, served in Vietnam. His father had served in the U.S. Army Air Corps in World War II. His older brother was in the Army at the time. The country was at war, and John wanted to serve. So that is his backstory and his involvement in our armed services. So please welcome our Sergeant Marine Corps, John Michael Matthews.
Thank you.
So John and Michelle, I have a very, very important question for you to start it off, okay? So what do we say, okay, instead of, you know where I'm going with this, Michelle?
I do. Yes, I do.
Instead of, okay, Happy Memorial Day, because none of us say Happy Funeral Day. So this is about honoring, and this is about, you know, the people, as we talked before we went on air, that died, okay, making our country great and wonderful. So guys, what do we say instead of Happy Memorial Day? What do we say? How do we change that so it is a reverence to the situation?
I would say remember Memorial Day.
Okay.
Honor Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm.
Never happy, because as you said, it's not a happy day.
Right.
And for Gold Stars, every day is Memorial Day.
It sure is. It sure is.
But on this day, it's very important not to wish a happy Memorial Day.
I understand that. Okay. What is your take on that?
Well, I agree with
John?
that totally. It is important that we remember them, and as Michelle has said many times, say their name, make sure that people know the sacrifice. Michelle's son, of course, was lost in combat, and reminds us that many times. But you do hear sometimes people, it's barbecue or it's or sales and things like that. Sometimes they do get the wrong idea about Memorial Day. It's a solemn ceremony. Or Veterans Day, of course, as you know, and many people know, Veterans Day is a celebration of all those that serve. But Memorial Day is to honor those that died in the service of our country.
I totally agree with that, and maybe even more warm wishes, or I'm not really. So maybe just remembering or honor. I guess those are such good words, Michelle. So talking of remembering and honoring, you two are a part of a very, very special day. That is always that last Monday of May, which is the Memorial Day ceremony. And wow, I just want to say that I did get to experience it last year and was really so moved and touched. Both of you were on stage. Both of you played a very big part of that service. And it was so well put together, and it was so thoughtful. I really want people to understand how special it is. And if they've not been, I really am going to encourage them to come and see what you two do to really honor, our military. So let's look at this. So the Memorial Day ceremony is, just so you guys know, May 29th. It's 9 a.m. It's the Veterans Memorial Island Sanctuary. Before we go through the outline, John, just, you've been involved with this for many, many years.
30-something years.
Yeah. Tell me the process for you. Have you seen it grow? Tell me the process of this.
Well, the Memorial Day ceremonies are put on by really the Veterans Council, and Colonel Carlos Holcomb is really in charge of it. I'm helping him, and Tony Young, Colonel Young as well. But we start planning early on and trying to find, there's got to be a keynote speaker. We have to, of course, Michelle she'll talk about that, I'm sure, but we'll be honoring the World War II veterans. And we have all the sights and sounds and symbols that are the tradition of the ship's bell, and taps will be played, and the rifle volley, as they call it. Some call it a 21-gun salute, but really it's a rifle volley, and the moment of silence, and we place a wreath to honor those that died. And so the script is done throughout the country in many places, so it's not necessarily unique to this, but I have seen it grow. I mean, we still go out for Pearl Harbor Day. One year I went out for Pearl Harbor Day, and me and one other person had a wreath, and it was me and him and a pelican, and that was about all that was there to remember Pearl Harbor Day. So we're expecting more than 1,000 people. I think we're printing 1,500 programs, and so
I love that.
So many people will go there. And by the way, if they are coming, we don't have 1,000 chairs, so they should bring a lawn chair if they have one. But it has the invocation, the opening prayer and benediction. Sylvester McIntosh, by the way, one of our highest decorated veterans in the community, Silver Star, won the Silver Star for his heroism in Vietnam. We kind of joke that he's a doctor now, also a doctor, sergeant, Sylvester,
oh my goodness.
Marine. I don't know how many titles do you get in a program. But anyway, so again, it's kind of a classic. It's a traditional, the sounds, as I'd mentioned, the sights and the sounds and symbols. This year, we're really focusing on honoring the World War II veterans that are still with us. Of course, mostly have gone on.
Wow. Okay. So for people, you've drawn a great picture, John. For those who have not been there, it is on this small island that was created by Mr. McWilliam. How big would you say it is, just so people can get a visual of that?
Well, I think it's 6.5 or 7 acres, but a big part of it is just open grass. But the main thing, as you go over the causeway, you'll see the flag, and at that time it'll be at half-mast, which is traditional. It comes down at 8 in the morning, goes back up at noon. And so when you get to the flag and you turn left and you walk through the cenotaphs, and cenotaphs are where they're memorialized, but no one's buried there on the island. They're memorialized there, and there's 70 people that are honored on the island. Wow. Not only the cenotaphs, but then to the outside edge of that, the Gold Star Grove that honors those that families that have lost a relative, a loved one. And then when you go through the cenotaphs and the Gold Star Grove up to the circle, which is where the ceremony is, and that's where our new World War II monument and stage is going to be in the future. So that's kind of where it all. But beyond that is a big open grassy area that's not anything right now. And then of course there's the sidewalk that goes around, and the monuments to all the branches of the service, as well as the those that were held as prisoners of war or missing in action in Vietnam and Korea, and Purple Hearts that were wounded. Or of course it's Memorial Island is there to honor those that died in the service of our country, and certainly they get Purple Hearts as well. So there's a monument to Purple Hearts and all the branches. And the most recent one that'll be dedicated soon is the one to the Merchant Marines that served during World War II.
I want to stress how reverent it feels when you step onto that island. There's many times where I've walked it alone, and when I've gone to these very special ceremonies, it's very quiet, other than of course the MC or what have you, but it's just so reverent, and there's even signs that the park puts up. You can't bike, take your scooter or anything like that.
Dogs are not permitted. Yes. It's tempting though to ride your bike over there.
Sure, it really is.
It's a sanctuary. It's not a park. It's the same dignity and decorum as a cemetery. It's like our Arlington. You would think of it that way, and so it's not the normal. No kite flying or skateboarding and such are allowed on the island.
Yeah. Michelle, you lost your son, Dale, very handsome man who served in the Army. What is this like for you to be able to experience this reverence and this specialness towards people like your son that served and died serving our country?
For me, it's very profound because my son is actually buried in Arlington National Cemetery, and it's hard to get there and on certain holidays like this. So with the Gold Star Grove, he's honored at the Gold Star Grove. So for me, it's like having a mini Arlington where I can go and reflect and remember him and have him honored. And it's a great honor for me to do that.
I love that so much. I'm going to walk through. You pretty much did this, John, but I know you're going to be Michelle, you're going to be honoring the World War II veterans, but we're going to start out with Dave Newhart. He's going to be the MC.
That's
Is that
right.
right?
He's the president of the Veterans Council, or the chairman of the board is the new title. But,
Okay. Now, was last year the first year Boots on the Ground? Was that the first? No. How many years have you done Boots on the
It's
Ground?
been a few years because it was they did it once before COVID, I think.
Okay.
Even so, but it will be done again. And
That's so powerful.
Yes.
That I vote for that every year. It is so. Michelle, can you just, for the people who've not been, to be able to visualize Boots on the Ground, can you tell them what that's all about?
Well, what they've done, what NextGen has done, is gathered boots from former military, and they set them up in the center, and they have a certain amount for a certain amount of men and women who were killed.
Mm-hmm.
And that changes. I'm not sure what it is right now, but it's the boot, it's the gun, the helmet. I'm not sure what else goes on it, but it's significant because it honors our veterans, our military who died, our fallen. And it's, when you see it, kind of takes your breath away, especially if you've seen it done in honor of your child. And I have, and it's profound.
Amazing. I remember just standing there looking at all the empty boots, and it was very powerful. After the Boots on the Ground, the national anthem by the Vero Beach High School Band, which was lovely last year.
Yeah, they do a great job. They had a fantastic. Michelle was the what's your title for you're the
MC.
The MC at
The red, white, and blue.
The red, white, blue concert, and the high school band just does great.
They do
there, and they of course add to and also it's part of Americana. As a big part of it is getting there early because as the community comes on and the color guards are arriving and the kids are setting up, the high school band is setting up their chairs and things, and as the community it swells, that's a big part of it. They're playing traditional music as people are arriving and so forth. And, and at the head of the, Michelle had mentioned it briefly, but at the head of the boots are there with a flag in it. And then at the head of that is what's called a battle cross, which is a rifle with a bayonet, and the bayonet's stabbed in the ground, and then the helmet of a fallen soldier and his dog tags hanging on it. It really is sad but sweet and important to remember.
Very important. And after the band of the national anthem, Michelle Dale, you're going to be honoring the World War II veterans.
Yes.
And that'll be the first time? Is that right? Actually, that?
No, it's not the first time. It'll be the first time on the island, but John had mentioned the Red, White, and Blue concert. We got together 13 of them for the Red, White, and Blue concert, and I'm doing the same thing on Memorial Day. I called them by name in their branch of service, and they got up and they stood. The applause was tremendous for each individual, but when they were all standing at the end, it was overwhelming how well they were honored. And these men are so special. This actually was supposed to be done on Veterans Day last year. It would have been more appropriate there, but because of Hurricane Nicole, we couldn't do it. And so now it's done on Memorial Day. I am honored to be able to call their name in their branch of service. I know many of them well now. One of the men I know extremely well. He is the sweetest man ever. And they all are they talk about their service like it was yesterday. And they're just amazing. We were just with them, 2 days ago.
Right.
They had an interview for a video for a TV, Channel 5. And 3 of them were together, and they're talking back and forth of their service. And one of the statements that I love the most from a friend of mine, his name is Bill Keegan, World War II. He told us everything that he did. And then he stopped and he said, and you know what, Michelle? I did that all before I was 20. And you go,
oh my goodness, that is insane.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm looking forward. I know Cindy from the soundboard, we're both going to go to the ceremony, and we're going to have to find these gentlemen, because I would love to thank them, as I'm sure most people should and would want to as well. So we need to go to a station break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about, John, we're going to talk a little bit about the new World War II memorial that we're going to be doing. So
Tribute,
tribute. So,
Okay.
all right, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Perfect.
Revive Vero Beach, located next to Anytime Fitness on Oslo Road and 27th Avenue, has everything you need to look and feel your best, including hormone replacement therapy, stem cell therapy, sexual wellness, weight loss, laser aesthetics, hair, tattoo, and skin spot removal, Botox and fillers, cryotherapy, comprehensive blood work, and everybody's favorite, ozone and IV therapy. Refresh, renew, and revitalize yourself at Revive today. Call 772-492-6607. A member of the iTex trading community. Your iTex dollars are welcome.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
Good morning, angels.
No, not that kind of angels. These are honky-tonk angels. Tough, gritty, love good, love bad. Foot-stomping angels. Life stories in the music. The story of 3 gutsy girls following their dream to Nashville. Over 30 classic country hits. On stage at Riverside Theater starting May 30th. But you don't have to wait. Get your tickets now at the box office or riversidetheater.com.
Cindy gets. She totally gets it.
Oh my gosh, did you see my prom makeup? She so gets it.
Dude, did you see her before and after makeup on Instagram? That makeup girl gets it.
My wedding makeup was so amazing, and my makeup artist, she totally gets it.
My senior photo makeup rocked. She gets it.
You should see her new Facebook profile. Her makeup artist really gets her.
My eye makeup is so on fleek. Thanks, Cindy Getz.
Cindy Getz makeup artist, 772-633-4030.
She gets it!
Hey guys, hope you're getting how special Memorial Day is here in Vero Beach. Before we wrap it up, I do want to thank Dale Sorensen Real Estate. They always make sure that we are on the air and been able to, really promote who's beautifying Vero Beach. So Dale Sorensen Real Estate, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. You can find them at 772-231-4712 and also at sorensenrealestate.com. Also, a shout out to Varietals and More. They always make sure our guests have a lovely beverage, and they always pick based on our guest. And of course, I told them we're talking about Memorial Day, and so they picked a cab from California, and it's called Star Treatment. And you can see all the stars on the bottle, which of course I believe are the men and women that died serving our country. So if you want to celebrate's not the word, honor, the men and women that served with a nice cab, get Star Treatment from Varietals and More. How appropriate I think that would be. We're wrapping it up with John Michael Matthews and Michelle Dale. They are part of the Memorial Day service here in Vero Beach on May 29. John, I just to wrap up, we were just finishing with Michelle about the World War II, honoring the gentlemen that are still, here with us at the service. But we've got a tribute coming up, and we also have tell us about that.
Well, we have a need for a stage. The stage had deteriorated and actually was towed away and scrapped, so there's no stage. So the plan started with, we need a stage or a platform. And then we realized to the greatest generation, there wasn't a monument out there to them. And so they kind of came together to make one project. So the new World War II tribute will also be our performance stage. And the World War II, they deserve our respect and admiration. A lot of them, the war ended and they were overseas. They didn't get home for a couple of years. They didn't have a parade. They just came home and went to work. So,
sure.
And of course, it's really all of their comrades that were lost at war, and all of our troops through all of the ages.
Well, I think it's going to be a wonderful addition to the island. So, to our sanctuary, the World War II monument. And thank you for that, John. And then,
if I may, it needs, like everything, it needs money. So if anyone wants to donate towards it, that could be useful to help, even if they do $5 or $10. That would be helpful.
Look up Veterans Council?
Veterans Council, or it's actually the Cultural Council is handling the money part. Or,
all right, Michelle Dale.
Sorry to take it.
That's okay. Final thought.
Say their names. If you know anyone who died, say their name on Memorial Day.
And Dale, we thank you for your service. John and Michelle, thank you as well. Have a great, blessed day.